a dream last night.
American Horror Story Murder House is a 2011 TV series that I just got done watching. And American Horror Story, this show has been around for a couple of years, and I was aware of it. And a lot of my friends have told me that I should watch it, I need to watch it, that I would like it, but I guess I just resisted that because I was watching so many other shows and I wasn't ready to start another one. But when I saw that this was on Netflix, I said, well, why not? What harm would it do to start watching this? Season 1, I want to mention right off the bat that this show is pretty crazy. I like the show. I did. Let's start with our main characters, the Harmon family. We have Ben, the husband, played by Dylan McDermott. And he, months ago, cheated on his wife Vivian, and she is just kind of done with him, fed up with him. She's kind of on her last ropes, willing to see if anything is left from this relationship. So they move into this house, pretty much because it's the cheapest house on the market, for obvious reasons. Its history is pretty tainted. And the husband himself was kind of a dick, especially at the beginning. I don't know if it was just because he cheated on his wife and how she was really not for being around him. He constantly just wanted to hook up. Connie Britton, who plays the wife, I liked her. I did have moments, though, of saying, alright, look, let's just leave the guy. I know she was there with him mostly either for the daughter or just the idea of the family. She wanted to make that work. But still, there's a point where you say, alright, if you're not happy, if you're not feeling it, then stop hurting both of yourselves and leave the guy. But then she becomes pregnant. And that messes everything up. Not just for her and her wanting to leave the situation, but how she got pregnant as well. Before I get there, I want to talk about Violet, the daughter, who's played by Tessa Farmiga, who, looking at the actress, her face just looked familiar. There was something about her that I was like, I feel like I've seen her before, but she's really young. She's like, I think she was 17 during this show, so I just thought, well, I don't think I've seen her in anything, if that's the case. And then I looked her up. She is Vera Farmiga's younger sister. So I said, oh, she definitely looks like Vera Farmiga in the face. Really pretty. She's pretty depressed, though. There's a few times where she tries to kill herself, or just she's against her parents, against everything, doesn't go to school. She starts talking to this character, Tate, played by Evan Peters, and Tate is an interesting character. He just somehow hangs around the house, and no one really questions it. It's kind of weird when he's just out and about the house and talking to the daughter. He has therapy sessions with the father, because the father is a psychiatrist, and he's a pretty screwed up person. And to get into his backstory might get spoiler territory, but I will say that it's not hard to figure out that he's a ghost. And this whole series is about ghosts and hauntings. And I'm not saying that it was the scariest thing I've ever seen, but it certainly was creepy. There were plenty of creepy moments with the ghosts. But the creepiest thing, the most messed up thing to me while watching the show, was them showing a flashback of Tate, who years ago, when he was alive, he went to his school and shot up at least 15 kids. Killed them all. And just that sequence of him going to the school, emotionless, just nothing on his face, killing kids with a shotgun, and how scared that they were, that was intense. It's funny that the one scene that was a flashback that didn't involve any ghost, I thought was the creepiest. But let's talk about some of the ghosts. There is a maid that works in the house. On the surface, she's really this older woman, but since there's a lot with her character, mostly guys, when they look at her, they see her for when she was younger, and a pretty hot redhead, I must admit. And there's plenty of times where the husband, especially him in his cheating ways, is checking her out. She's bending over, she's on all fours cleaning the floors, and you're like, wow. Even though me as a viewer, I know what she really looks like and who she really is, I don't know. That's pretty hard to turn down. There's a rubber suit man who just appears in the house, and he's in and out of the rooms, and he's causing mayhem, and for a while you don't know who he is. There's something about a faceless, masked man in all black going around killing people and doing stuff that I thought was pretty creepy. When you find out who he is and everything that went into that, he wasn't as creepy, but still, the reveal of it made sense completely. And then that brings me to Kate Mara. Because Kate Mara, I remember the very first time I saw her. I always sort of think of this when I see her. She was in Urban Legends Bloody Mary, and she was pretty atrocious in that film. And ever since, I've known that that was her very first movie, so you can't really blame her. Now, holy crap, she's amazing. She has grown so much as an actress, and the character that she plays, just, it might be a simple character. She's really just the scorned woman, young woman, that the husband cheated with and is now pregnant with his kid. So obviously he wants nothing to do with her or want his wife to find out about her. So she sort of shows up unannounced and it's like, hey, you can't ignore me. And she's completely psychotic. She's just the typical, I'm the other woman, but I won't be the other woman. I will make myself the number one person of the situation. And it's mostly her acting that really brought that character alive, and how evil and psychotic she gets even after that point. I was completely for her character, and the moments where she just really fucks, especially with the wife, I loved. They have this character, Constance, played by Jessica Lange, and she's the next door neighbor who pretty much knows what's going on, and she just creepily shows up at the house unannounced, and she holds a presence to the show. She definitely has a lot to do with a lot of the main stories going on, and don't want to give stuff away, but her daughter, Addie, was one of the most annoying and weird characters ever, and I know it's probably messed up to say because she had some affliction to her, like, I don't know if she was mentally challenged or exactly what, but her daughter would just show up, sneak into the house, and say, you're all gonna die tonight, you're gonna die, blah blah blah, you're gonna die in this house. And I just was like, dude, get this creepy looking daughter out of the house. I'm sorry, but that's just my thought every time. Also, we had Dennis O'Hare, who shows up, half of his face is burnt off, he's just sort of peeking into the house and being creepy. You don't know if he's a ghost or until you find out that he is just this guy who has a connection to the house. He's completely obsessed with the house. He's completely obsessed with Constance. And Dennis O'Hare's a great actor, so seeing him in anything always works. And last but not least, I want to talk about Zachary Quinto, who the owners of the house before the Harmon family were a gay couple who were brutally murdered. And we see in flashback form that Zachary Quinto was one of that couple, and he is one of the ghosts in the house. And Zachary Quinto, I really like seeing him here because I've seen him in a bunch of other things before. This is the first time I've seen him play a gay character. I know he's gay in real life, but just seeing him play this type of character, he's so good at it. And then he also had moments too of being creepy, especially revolving around Vivian being pregnant and how almost every ghost in the house wanted her baby. The ending of the season is so insane, I can't even really get into everything that goes on. But anyways, guys, if you haven't seen American Horror Story, obviously I recommend at least the first season. I'm going to keep watching and hopefully review each season as I go along. But season 1, definitely a thumbs up. I enjoyed it. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below if you have seen American Horror Story Murder House. What did you think of it? Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Later!